Hi, I'm Matt from MoTackle, and today I'm just going to do a quick video on making scutes, which is something I've been doing during COVID with all of my extra time. And all it is really is getting a jig head, a vise, and then just putting some stuff on it. Pretty much all I do is I'll lay my thread down the hook like that, and then I'll just cross over it a few times and I'll run back the length of the hook. This is just so when you tie fibres and things onto there that it's got something to grip to, because the hook itself can be a bit slippery. Now after you do that, you can actually run over that with thin glue if you want, just to keep it stuck to your hook, or just nail polish. And just cut your tag end off and thread it sort of pretty much back the whole way to the back of your hook. I like to even go a little bit up the hook if possible. And then once you do that, I'm just going to build the tail section of the scoot. So for the tail section of this scoot, because it's sort of a small one, I'm just going to use this for jerking across the flats for Flathead. I've actually tied a few of these before and they work really well. So I'm just going to grab a couple of little strands of what's essentially a rooster feather, but they're quite thin, but they give heaps of action. I'm just going to bind those onto my hook, put one on this side here. Once you band him on there too, if you find it's not laying the way you want it, you can actually sort of just push it, pull it and move it to sit however you want until you tighten it right off. Alrighty, so that's the tail section done, and now all I like to do after that is essentially create like a two-tone body. I'll do, like, because I've got a pink one here, I'll probably going to do a pink top and a white bottom, just to sort of look a bit like a bait fish. Just grab a few strands, don't need too much really, and make it about the length you want to. So I just sort of lay it over there, roughly. Like, too much is good because you can always cut it back. It's very hard to make it grow, so too little is not a winner. Do a little bit more on top. Now I'm just going to grab what's called a whip finisher. You can actually do this with your hands, but I shake a lot, so I don't. And all I'm going to do is lock off where I'm up to before I do my next little bit of tying. It just binds it to the hook so nothing will move. Once you start fishing it, you don't really want stuff to start sliding off, because it's pretty heartbreaking if your lure just starts falling apart when it starts catching fish. I'm going to grab a little bit of, it's called rabbit zonkers. Add a little bit of action up the front, sort of look like a little bit of the back of the gill section, I guess you'd say, of a bait fish. So they move around quite well. And any fibres that are like natural, like rabbit fur, deer hair, feathers, provide a lot of action in the water, but they also add a bit of wind resistance. So they don't tend to cast as well or as far. So if you're looking for something that's going to cast nice and long on the flats, I'd stick to mostly synthetics and throw like minnow styles. But if you're doing like a snapper scoot or something like that, and you don't really need to throw it long, then a lot of natural things in your scoot is going to give you a really great action as it falls through the water column. It's the type of thing that I don't think I've really seen achieved as well in a soft plastic as you can achieve through some of the fibres you can get from feathers and furs and stuff like that. As you twist them around here, you just want to sort of peel your fur back so you don't crush it all beneath each other and lose all your length. Then we just rip out this bad boy one more time and sort of lay it down your hook. length, and then you just spin him around sort of like 5 times. Might need to make him a bit longer. And pull that one up, let go of your thread, tighten it off, and you're done. I put a little spot of glue in under there just to make sure that thread doesn't come undone. So it's got like some UV solar res, which I used to just put over my knots, and I used to put eyes on jig heads that don't already have eyes on them and stuff like that. I'll just put a little bit of that up in the top just to make sure that knot holds in there. Hit it with a torch. That's it, done and dusted now. Something simple like that actually works really productively around here on Flathead. I like the chartreuse ones and the bright pink ones and a flat white colour. They seem to be my favourite. So if you're having troubles in lockdown and finding stuff to do just like I was, why don't you pick up a vise and play around with some of the stuff you got at home on jig heads and make up a few lures that are going to work once these times pass and we get back out on the water.